So if you didn't know, Monday is probably going to be a pretty monumental day for the markets. We're talking Bitcoin, stocks, oil, gold, silver. So we have about 24 hours until we really are going to see big moves. With that said, we're going to discuss all of that and exactly what I'm doing in this video. And jumping into it, we can see, remember, Monday could be very volatile. Trump warned, right, of strikes on Iran's bridges and power plants. In fact, we actually saw this after this tweet, I think, or in and around the same time. We did see an attack on one of the bridges, and he also posted this after the markets were closed. So we've discussed this many times here on the channel. This seems to be an ongoing thing for Trump with these wars, with tariffs, and with big announcements. He does them just after the markets close for the weekend. Now, this is obviously Easter weekend. It's a longer weekend, which, in my opinion, gives him and whoever else in the government time to potentially negotiate. Using these hardball tactics seems to be the go-to move for Trump, and I think that's what's happening today or on Friday, right? So I think we might see something come out in the next 24 hours. And obviously the bull in me wants this to be good news. It wants it to be some sort of negotiation to actually maybe even come to an end of this current situation. Now, obviously that's what I want, but you know, we've seen how things are going right now, and we've seen that Iran doesn't seem to be willing to actually do any negotiations, right? So we may see a further escalation of this, and things could get worse. So I do think that Monday is going to be a crazy time for not just Bitcoin, but the overall market. Now, what's interesting, right, is Bitcoin is one of, or if not the largest asset that can be traded over the weekend. And so far, we aren't seeing pushes to the downside. Normally, I've noticed that Bitcoin preempts bad news or preempts good news. But so far we have nothing, essentially nothing in the charts that we can go off, which probably means that the overall market is unsure what will happen. Quite literally, even the big players don't know what will happen. So what we have to do is we have to plan for both scenarios. Now, on a technical level, Bitcoin isn't looking great, guys. We are below the bear flag, the support level on the bear flag. Last time this happened was back in January, and we came down. We spent about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 days below the level. Right now, we've been below 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days below the level. So twice as long now. And we did get rejected after a quick push to the upside, but it was a very sharp and very fast drop. 3 days it took Bitcoin to drop to 16% down. So we've not seen that yet. We've not seen this sharp rejection from the bear flag just yet, which actually does fill me with a little bit of bullish sentiment. Because if we already had seen a massive push to the downside, that means that the big players are probably preempting bad news. Now, again, guys, we don't know what will happen, so we have to prepare. But call me crazy, but I actually might deploy some capital into Bitcoin very soon. I've collected my money from last month from my various businesses, and I have deployed most of that into the stock market, right? I've been buying things like Microsoft, Amazon, the NASDAQ, and I really think there's amazing opportunity in the market right now, but you have to be able to weather the storm. And I know I keep saying this, guys, but it's my base case still. This is what I expect to happen, that Bitcoin just continues on the same trajectory down. It continues to repeat the 4-year cycle. I think that it could still do a similar move to this, which really from where we are now isn't that bad. So if I'm deploying capital at 67, and this is the new 40, right? And then from 40, we went to 16. So from 67, we go to 30. That's the worst case scenario I see really happening here. And it's not that bad because I'm going to continue to buy, and that will drag my buy price down. A lot of people say, well, why wouldn't you just wait for confirmation and buy the bottom? I don't believe I can do that. I don't believe anyone can do that. And anyone who says they can do that just got lucky once and then they claim to be some sort of prodigy. I don't think that's the case. So I'm doing the same thing with Bitcoin as I'm doing with some tech stocks like Microsoft, like Amazon, because these things are beaten down and I have high conviction in them. If the S&P 500 comes down into a bear market, so a 20% reduction like we saw in April 25, I will then start deploying capital again into those. I have held off from my weekly DCA that I do into the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ to build up capital to buy the blood. I want to be messing with these assets when they've come down significantly. Like silver came down about 50%. We can see if we go from the high here to the low, or sorry, 27, oh, that's gold. 27% on gold is absolutely crazy in the short period of time that it moved. But you can see silver from the high to the low, 50% down. That's why right now is a much more favorable time, especially in geopolitical tensions. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.